Good morning.
Morning.
I don't think many people know this, but before my family joined College Park, we were members of a different church. When I was younger, I never really experienced or thought about God as being a presence in my life. My old church had a rich history of taking tough stances on social justice, but didn't have the same opportunities or amount of kids my age like College Park did. I know God led us to College Park to set the stage for new experiences with Him. For example, the first day I visited College Park, the Harrisons invited us to lunch with them. My relationship with the Harrisons has only grown since then, and I thank God for that. That was the beginning of my recognition of God's work in my life, because without them, it may have been harder for us to keep coming back. However, it was the fact that they were so welcoming that we gladly kept coming back, knowing we had friends already. Being here has also allowed us a fresh start, and personally allowed me a whole new outlook on my faith in God's ever-present work in my life. I will always see God's part in Him leading my family here into a community of believers that welcomed us with open arms and made a concerted effort to make sure we felt at home. Lynn and the youth sponsors and their almost annoying persistence have also been amazing in helping me recognize God's work in my life. The youth discussions really changed my outlook on faith. During these discussions, one of the questions that they frequently asked was, "Where did you see God today?" Or "Where did you see God this week?" In my first year coming to youth, I was always shy and hesitant to answer questions in front of the group. However, because of the youth sponsors' persistence, sometimes forcing me to answer questions, I became more comfortable talking in front of everybody. And I also began listening to others more and seeing what they had to say. The more I listened and heard where other people recognized God in their lives, the more I realized where I saw God and how I wanted to live my life. In Corinthians chapter 5, verses 16 through 30, the Bible talks about becoming a new person in Christ by persevering through difficult times via faith in God. I've found that persevering through day-to-day challenges has been how my faith has grown. And recognizing God's light and shedding God's light on other people and recognizing God's light in other people, I realized where I saw God most was when I saw other people making someone else's life better. With simple things like a smile, a compliment, or just a hug. Like Sharon Draper, award-winning author and educator, said, "It's the little things that make happy moments, not the grand events. Joy comes in sips, not in gulps." Those discussions were extremely helpful, but they were just the start of how I began recognizing God's work in my life and my day-to-day struggles. One important time that I remember seeing God's light after becoming a member of College Park was at Greensboro Urban Ministry, or GUM, on Sunday night. Prior to that night, I had not interacted with homeless people or even thought about homelessness as being a problem. When I went to GUM that night, that experience made a big impression on my life. And I saw a whole group of random people come together, take time out of their busy schedules to serve individuals that need to be served. I instantly recognized God in everyone there. That night was the first time I knew for sure that someone's life was positively impacted because of me, and it was the greatest satisfaction I've ever felt. I knew I had to do it again sometime, and that is just what got me sure happened. One night, my sophomore year, I was talking to my mom about getting summer service hours to look good on my college application, and she mentioned Second Harvest Food Bank. I'm so grateful that she did. Once we got the paperwork filled out, I started my first week as a volunteer. I worked 5 days a week, loading pallets of assorted grocery goods and sorting through donated eggs. The days were really long and tiring. The second and third week, I had trouble getting up to go to work, didn't have much fun while there, didn't talk much, and overall was just not enjoying it. All of the long days of loading pallets, sorting cracked, stinky, rotten eggs, and having them spilled on me were starting to get to my head. But the more I kept in mind why I started coming and forced myself to keep coming, the more I realized why I signed up to do it. I found ways to enjoy the work more by looking for God and other people throughout the day. I learned to remember what I'd experienced at youth group and be able to see how my work at the food bank was shining a light on other people's lives. And I eventually did. What started out as a selfish attempt to make a nice resume ended up being my favorite place to go during the summer. The friends I've made working hard together at Second Harvest Food Bank are extremely special because there is a certain level of respect that comes with being a routine volunteer there and knowing that each person there is just as committed as you are to making someone else's day, week, month, or even life better. On the flip side, my least favorite place to go during the summer ended up being soccer practice. Those long summer, or the 4-hour practices every weekday, the unbearable heat, the grass drills, and nothing to help get me through it except faith in God, a sense of obligation to my teammates, and just a little bit of Gatorade. While there were plenty of negatives about those long summer practices that I could focus on, and I'm not going to miss high school soccer practice at all next year, God got me through it. When teammates covered for me when I stepped to the ball, helped me up off of the ground when I was down, came to my aid when I was hurt or cramping, or gave me a giant bear hug when we scored, I saw God's light in my life so clearly. The sense of loyalty, friendship, respect, and trust that comes with being part of a team is something that cannot be replaced for anything. My greatest friendships have come from the special bond of being part of a team and practicing so hard creates. There are many life lessons on the soccer field. I played center back, a defensive position, and coaches always said, don't stab, keep your feet, stay in front. The game of soccer requires keeping your balance, perseverance, strength of mind and body, trust in your legs. Without this trust in my legs, due to minor injuries like an ankle sprain, it required 6 months of physical therapy and a badly pulled hip flexor. Playing defense, or even simply kicking the ball, was extremely hard, as anyone who has had an ankle or hip flexor injury and played soccer can imagine. Another day-to-day struggle with my faith was college applications. I was just recently accepted to Wake Forest University, a school I never even would have applied to without my mom and dad's constant encouragement. Everyone at school told me my class rank, GPA, or other credentials were too low. Without my parents' help, I would still be going to my second or third choice school. I still would have been in a great school, but Wake is a whole different challenge and opportunity for me. I see God so much in my parents pushing me to apply and having faith in me and my dreams, just as they have throughout all my life, supporting whatever it is I thought I wanted to do at any given time. Where I see God is in the day-to-day struggles that my faith in God somehow gets me through so often now. The long days of hard work on the field or during volunteering, the seemingly minor injuries that end up being season changers for a soccer player like me, and even the youth discussions, when I would much rather be doing something more fun. They all come together. Looking back, I realized I would not be who I am today without any of it. I didn't see it at first, but now I know why God brought College Park into my life, among other things. The perseverance of my generous youth sponsors showed me how to recognize God. My outstanding coaches throughout the years taught me how to trust in my teammates and help me make my team better. And lastly, my parents and family, whose unconditional love and support in all my goals and aspirations were crucial in shaping my faith. They boosted my confidence in myself and, unknowingly, showed me what negativity can do to your dreams. Thanks to all of these individuals, too many to name, but each possessing an equal part in shaping my faith in God, I know now how I want to live my life in college and beyond. I want to continue to shed God's light on other people and be there to steady them in their balance or their faith wavers. I just want to make positive impacts on other people's lives because I know that it's God's plan for me, and that's what I'm most happy doing. Where will you see God today?